CPT JJ-CPV, Evaluation and Management, E&M Services Guidelines, page 8, right?
Yeah.
Part 1. We're continuing with the time characteristic, with the time parameter, right? And we have one more sentence which says,
Therefore, it is often difficult to provide accurate estimates of the time spent face-to-face with the patient.
right. This is going back to the previous comment, so you can review in the previous video. But basically what it says is that it's hard to provide an accurate time spent face-to-face with the patient. And they're talking about the ER, right? Because in the ER, when a patient goes there, the doctor sees him for a little while, and then he has to go to see other patients, and then he comes back, and then he goes back, he goes away. So it's difficult to measure how much time the doctor is spent in an ER situation because of the emergency situation that the doctor has to be in several places at the same time, right? So there's a little table there, a little more about time that you can read, right? How much do hospitalists get paid, right? For E&M codes. And now we're going to do a problem. So ready, set, go. Okay, this is the problem. CPT JJ-RVA, page 270, right? Exercise 155, and this is a level 1 exercise, which means that it is a regular exercise. It's not so easy, but it's not so hard. It's a regular exercise. And the key word is?
MRI.
MRI. And as you should know already, MRI stands for?
MRI is magnetic resonance imaging.
Magnetic resonance imaging. Okay, an X-ray, a type of an X-ray, right? So can you read the text?
Radiology.
The code belongs to the radiology section of the CPT book, and it reads like this.
Patient comes into the outpatient department
Uh-huh.
at the local hospital,
Right.
for an MRI
Uh-huh.
of the cervical spine with contrast.
Right.
Patient is status post-automobile accident.
Okay. So that's the problem. That's the procedure that was done on the patient, right? Now we're going to count to 3, so you can pause the video and then give us the CPT code for this procedure, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, the answer is 72142. Did you get that? If you got that, congratulations. You can go to the next video because there's probably nothing more for you to see here because you already know the answer, you already know the problem. If you didn't get that answer, let's give you first a couple of tips. Okay, first tip. It reads?
It reads, don't get confused by too many apparent keywords.
By too many apparent keywords, right? There's a lot of keywords here that you see medical terms, but don't get too confused because there's only one that is valuable, right? Which is the one that you should care.
Note that the main procedure is MRI.
Right. All the other keywords
just explains the type of MRI.
Yeah, the procedure is an MRI. That's the procedure. All the other medical terms that you see there, they're just explaining what type of MRI is, but an MRI is the main procedure, right? And now, the tip number 2.
Ignore status post-automobile accident.
Right, why? Why you have to ignore it?
Because that would be a diagnosis code.
Right, this is not a procedure code. It's not a code that explains what was done to the patient, but explains why did the patient got the condition, right? We don't care in CPT about why the patient got the condition. All we care about in CPT is what was done to the patient, right? So we're only coding the procedure, right?
Right.
Okay, with these 2 tips, you should be able to get it now. And now, to help you understand more about this, we have some links that you can click if you're interested in this procedure to understand how this procedure is done. So the first set, these 4 here, they have an A+ after the name of it, and there's a link here. This A+ means that we consider that these videos are very, very helpful to understand this. So try to watch all these 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can't afford, you don't have time, watch at least the first one because these are ordered in order of according how important they are. So the first one is the most important. Just watch that one. We can see a little bit of that, right?
Right.
Let's see. There it is, right?
Hi, I'm Angie, and your doctor has ordered an MRI. And I'm here to show you exactly what the MRI machine looks like and what it does. What it does is a big camera that takes a picture of the inside of your body. How it works is you will lay on the table, and the bed will move up, and it will go in, and it will take pictures just like you would with a normal camera. It just looks a little bit...
Okay, so that's the video, right? And then let's go back to our text. There. Okay, so you can continue to watch the whole video. It explains what the MRI procedure is if you're not familiar with it. And the other ones are almost the same. So after you watch these 4 videos, you will know exactly what an MRI is, so you can code more efficiently, right? And now if you're further interested in this particular procedure, there are more links here that Stephanie has selected as that are relevant to this particular code, right? So, okay, you have everything, all the help that we can give you. You have the tips, you have the links to understand, and you have the answer, right? So now we're going to count to 3, so you can pause the video and give us the path. How we got to the answer, okay? The path is all the steps that we follow to get to the answer, okay? So we're gonna count to 3. So you pause the video and then give us the path. You have to write down the path, okay? That's an exercise. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this is the summary of the whole problem. The code, our particular code for this problem is CPT JJ-RVA, page 270, exercise 155, and this is a level 1 exercise. And the code words are MRI, spine, and contrast, right?
Right.
And the problem reads like this. There is a radiology section of the CPT book. Patient comes into the outpatient department at a local hospital for an MRI of the cervical spine with contrast. Patient is status post automobile accident, okay? So that's the procedure. Now, there's only one code, and the code 1 through the index is found like this.
First, you go to index.
Go to the index.
You start with magnetic resonance imaging, MRI.
Why do you start with the X then? Oh, that's the index, I'm sorry. The X means just go to the index, okay? We're just reviewing this step by step. This means go, and the X means go to the index. And in the index, you're gonna go to the M, right? For magnetic resonance imaging, right?
Right.
And then you find this, magnetic resonance MRI. After this, you find some choices. And the one that you have to choose is the spine. Why? Because it's a cervical spine. It says right here, it's a spine. It is the vertebral column. That's where the MRI is going to be done. And cervical is one of the divisions of the spinal column, which is the cervical, the thoracic, and the lumbar, right?
Right.
So we're talking about the cervical, which is the neck, right? And then for this, you have this range of codes. You have from this to here for 41 to 42, right? And from 56 to 58, right? So the way to look for it, to which one of these codes is, you have to go to the tabular and then read all the definitions for all these codes in these 2 ranges, right? So the code 1 through the tabular is found like this.
First, you go to tabular.
Go to the tabular.
Then you go to 672141.
Which is the first number of this range, right? Actually, this is not a range because it's just 2 consecutive numbers, right? But somehow they consider a range. So you click on the 41, right? Or read the 41, right? 72141. And what does it say there?
Without contrast.
Without contrast, right? The contrast is some dye that they insert to use so that the radiology can be clearer. So, but this is without contrast, so we don't want that because it says here very clearly with contrast, so we don't want that. Let's read the other one.
72142 is a whole thing, but it was with contrast.
This is with contrast, right? So this is with contrast, so this is our code, right?
Right.
And then where? No. Okay, we did a little correction here. You know, I'm sorry, we're not perfect, but we forgot to put the cervical one, which is in the description of the code, right? So in the previous image, you're not going to find the cervical, but we included it here because it says in the code cervical, and this is what we want. It has to say cervical. This is without contrast, is the 41, and the 42 is cervical with contrast. So this is the one we want. It has cervical, which is here, cervical spine, and it has with contrast, which is here with contrast, right?
Right.
Now, this is 72142. What are the other ones? The other ones are for further sequences, which means that they are additional MRIs, right? Yeah. And then the other ones are the thoracic, and the other ones are lumbar. So we have to go back to the one that says cervical and with contrast, because that's the one that is in our problem, right? So this is 72142. This double forward slash means go back to 72142, which is this one, and the equal sign at the end means that this is the code you have double check. So that's why the answer is 72142. Okay, so thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to visit our website, and also you can subscribe to our videos by just clicking in the subscribe button, and you will get
up to 3 videos every day that we make. ICD-10, CPTs, all that's needed to pass the medical coding certification exams.
So don't forget to visit our website and subscribe to our videos. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.